Gentlemen, I'm going to talk like that the whole time. Nope, we're not going to do it. Hopefully everybody is well this Monday evening here. Yeah, we're on YouTube. I was going to say something. I don't know what I was going to say. What are we talking about? We have TonTon Arsenal news. We have Tom Guest XFactor news. We have Arturo. Nope. We have Arturo Andrade. I kind of like merged his names there. Okay, we're not going to try. The NXL, we're going to talk about World Cup location. The Summit Awards are open for voting. We've tried to vote on this stuff live before. It's never really worked out. We're going to try it again. Yeah. We're going to talk about the Twister Big Game, which sounds kind of fun. We have a giveaway for our channel members. We have some other things we might get to, like Glowball here at Capital Edge. We'll talk about maybe John Brinkman over on PTG. And then we're going to do a tech corner. We're going to do the first ever tech corner because I finally got that camera working. And we're going to take apart tank regs. And I just have some things I'm going to go over. And we're just going to talk about how to service and fix tank regs and stuff like that. But without further ado, who is this guy? Didn't know Brad had a brother with a mustache. My name is Bart. Brett. No, let's go with Bart. No, I don't like Bart. I actually named my dog Bart for like 2 days, and I started calling him Bart, and I'm like, I don't like that name. So we didn't go with Bart. That was an old dog. But as always, I'm going to thank the best paintball, the best paintball store on said planet, BFP Gear. And we've been talking about their holiday giveaway for a few weeks now. And you've got about 15 days. You get about 2 weeks left. And the way their giveaway works is if you spend $50, whether it is at bfpgear.com or SAC Paintball or Extreme Paintball, both two physical stores they have here in Northern California. You spend $50, you get one entry, and then you get entered into the giveaway. You can see those winners up there. You get free paint. Well, not everybody. Someone's going to get free paint for a year. So a case of paint for a week. 4 people are going to get a case of paint for a month. You're going to get 5 winners get a Hormesis hookup, it says on there, which is going to be, you get your own custom Hormesis jersey. There's pants in there, headbands. One of the coolest prizes, I think, are 9 signed Dynasty jerseys. So you get the whole collection from last year's team, all signed. They're giving away a custom Waffle Force. You get a year possibly in the Dynasty Champions Club. You can only win that stuff by shopping at bfpgear.com. There's a link over to bfpgear.com, or you can, just go to bfpgear.com. One of the things that I really like, they just got back, or they didn't just get back in stock, but are finally fully in stock. The HK Army, I shouldn't say fully, because some of the colors are still, trickling in. They're not like at all the locations, but they are shipping all the colors. One of the things I really like is you can see the in stock and out of stock. The Extreme Paintball is the exact same location as BFP Gear, so they kind of like always have stuff. They got to transfer stuff over here. So like today they got all this stuff in, they got to transfer it over. Anyway, I really like these RMX goggles. Maybe more than the new ProFlex QLS frame. Either way, they're in stock at bfpgear.com. Chris Raymond? Yo. I hear some wobbling. I hear like a banging and like, oh, it's my tank on this desk hitting something. I'm like, what is this jangling around? Yeah, we got a mustache. I had a mustache last week too, but it wasn't as noticeable. I told you guys I could probably grow a good mustache. Although, I don't know. It's all right. We'll get to our stuff. Hold on. I just want to take a sip of my blood-curdlingly hot coffee. What are we talking about first? We have TonTon's and Arsenal. TonTon's and Arsenal. TonTon's and Arsenal. This I did not see coming. 2 days ago, I put a video out on the Ruined Clips channel here on YouTube talking about the TonTon's selling their spot to Collision. And now we're talking about the TonTon's and Arsenal merging. So we weren't really sure what was going to happen with this either. I mean, a few weeks ago, we got word that Tom Four, owner of Arsenal, was going to team up with Dynasty, and they were taking a few of their players over, a few of the Arsenal players over. I'm going to turn the volume up a little bit to play with Dynasty. What am I hearing? I'm hearing stuff. Took a few of the players to play with Dynasty, so we weren't really sure what was actually going to happen to the Arsenal spot, right? I mean, it's not like Arsenal got relegated. Tom Four wasn't like, yeah, I'm selling the team or anything, so we weren't really sure. But now we have official word that Arsenal will be staying around with new ownership group. Three owners were announced right here in the press release, I should say, from the NXL. 3 new owners in Ben Carroll. Benny Carroll's been playing for that region for a long time, played for Revo, and has played for Arsenal the last 2 years. Brett Messer, infamous player for a long time. Brett, I don't think, has played pro for a couple years, mainly because he's been heading up the game Paintballers with Major League Paintball. You can find that over on Steam. Eventually, it's going to be released. I'm not 100% sure how that's going. It looks really cool. And also Colin Lassiter. I'm not 100% sure who Colin is. I definitely recognize his name. He played for Revo, or has at least coached and kind of helped out with Revo and Arsenal. He actually played for LTZ back in the day. That might be where I recognize that name. LTZ, less than zero. Sounds like a band too, maybe, huh? No? LTZ playing out of Las Vegas. So Arsenal merging with the TonTon's. We've also, heavily talked about what's going on with these rosters. We can see over on the left-hand side was last year's Arsenal roster with the TonTon's roster on the right-hand side. There are definitely some changes to that Arsenal roster, though. I mean, we know ABJ up at that top is going to go over to Dynasty, as well as Elliot Weaver and Stephen O'Mara. We know Cody Makowski went to some team that I cannot remember right now. So there's not a ton of guys left really on that Arsenal roster. We see Kyle Bowen, Caleb Abel, and Ben Carroll. We can obviously assume Ben Carroll is going to stay since he is one of the new owners of the team. And the TonTon guys on the right-hand side. The only movement we've seen from the TonTons, though, is Fedorov going over to play for the Hurricanes with their new owner and then being based in Texas now. So it still leaves the core of the TonTons available. And I don't know. I would assume, why not just take all the current TonTon players and then team up with Kyle Bowen, Caleb Abel, and Ben Carroll, and bang, you got yourself TonTon's Arsenal. So I don't know. I don't know if they're going to need to add or subtract anybody. I say that any team that's going to have the skill that Hugo and Axel have over on that snake side are going to, be a threat to any team. So Arsenal and TonTons are merging. We can see the TonTons did pretty well last year in 6th place overall. They took them a little bit to get going there. They got 16th at the first event, did take 2 second places in a row, though. Arsenal sat in that middle of the pack. I think their best finish was a 4th. Nope, their best finish was a 5th in Atlantic City. So merging their powers to create the French onslaught. TonTon's and Arsenal. Also got word that Thomas, I was like, maybe his name's Thomas. I was like, I don't know. Maybe it could be Tommy. Tom Guest, going over to XFactor. I was going to say something else. XFactor. Tom Guest has played for XFactor before, though. Tom Guest, I believe, came up and went pro with Nope. With San Diego XFactor. Nope. Came up and played pro with San Diego Aftermath, is what I was looking for. Did play with XFactor, though, for 3 years. The 2021, 22, and 23 seasons, he did play with XFactor. The last 2 years he spent over with the Ironman. And is going back over to XFactor. XFactor is another one of those teams that, I don't know, we're not 100% sure about that roster, right? I mean, I think that there's been a constant rumor about Archie Montemayor constantly retiring. And I believe he's going to do it. Colt Roberts is always kind of like, speculation about what Colt's going to do. Another old guy on that team is Billy Bernaccia. Where the hell's Billy Bernaccia? Oh, they're second at the top. Billy's also another old guy, but Billy will not retire ever, I don't think. So I think he's in for the long haul. But adding Tom Guest to that roster should be good. Tom Guest is one of those, I would say, constantly improving players, right? Probably always had the skill, but these last few years, at least has been a standout playing in that back center, kind of like cleaning up mid-ish game. He's very tall, so he gets a lot of good angles that a lot of people just aren't able to get. I mean, in paintball, we're constantly trying to get small guys. But there are advantages that some of these taller players do have, like Tom Guest, just being able to shoot down at people and being able to just look over every single bunker on the field also makes it just real handy. Tom Guest going to XFactor. We can see their overall ranking is again XFactor in 3rd overall. Who's talking about that in chat? Anyone talking about anything cool in chat? Yeah, everybody give the live stream a like, and then we'll move on to some other cool topics, I guess. YouTube changed the interface on the back end of this, so it looks all weird. It looks different to me, and I don't really know what's going on. Arston. I don't know what, I think they just they are just doing TonTon Arsenal or something. I saw on, Chris Martin, tonsil. That's why you said that. I was like, what the hell are you guys talking about tonsils for? That's pretty good. I think they are just going with like a TonTon Arsenal or something like that. On a Facebook, their I don't know, thing says that. Egg hat. I don't like Supreme hats. I don't know how I feel about Supreme hats. I've actually thought about taking them apart. Like, I really like the hat, just as it is a hat. I like their hats. They're really old. Look at how like worn out that tag is. This one's like 20 years old, or no, like 15 maybe. But I thought about like disassembling them and taking the labels off. I don't know. This is cool though. You can buy this cool sweatshirt over at the Paintball Ruined My Life store. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Google? What about Google? TonTon, what you shooting? About tree fitty. Okay. What are the TonTons going to shoot? What guns did the TonTons use last year? These Eclipse guns? What guns did Arsenal use? I don't even keep track of that at all. I used to be able to tell you every single team. Now I'm like, oh, no idea. No clue. I just have a little something about Arturo I wanted to talk about. Arturo Andrade over on the Spick and Span show. I don't know. I just wanted to shout out Arturo. He does a lot for the Mexican Paintball League. He puts in a lot of work down south of the border for paintball. And he just seems a good guy. So I just appreciate all those people that are putting in a lot of effort into paintball. And, you know, a lot of us aren't really reaping any rewards from it. So a lot of the people that are putting in a lot of effort and still contributing to paintball is great. And Arturo is that guy, you know. The MXL, the Mexican X-Ball League, it seems like consistently getting better. Dan, Arturo, yeah, it's just consistently getting better. And it's one of those things that's like, you know, they don't have like 150 teams. So it's not like, you know, the WCPPL or the USXBL or something where there's like 150 teams and you can get tons of money. So there's not a lot of teams, but he keeps putting in all that effort and it keeps getting bigger and growing. So thank you, Arturo. That's all. I don't know. Dude, I want to go to Mexico so bad. I've been talking about I talk about going to paintball tournaments all the time though, and it never happens. So, I mean, I don't know. Yeah. I would love to go to Mexico to play paintball. I always thought it was cool. I always think it's neat how like there was like the Cancun stuff and like the ICPL would go play. So I like it. I was actually looking into like Guadalajara because I believe that's where all the tournaments are going to be held this year. And I kind of was looking at like how much that would cost to go and for a week or whatever. It's kind of a long flight. It's like a 7-hour flight though, you know, it is kind of far. I was thinking like, oh, it's just Mexico. You know, it's just right there. But I'm like, damn, it's like all the way down there though. It's not, it's not just Tijuana. Put Monkey with a Gun back on YouTube. You gotta go be a... You know how you can watch Monkey with a Gun stuff? Unless you've got it all owned. Unless you own it all like I do. Major League Paintball. I'm not even sure what I'm typing. Major League Paintball Plus. They, somewhere on here they have all that stuff. I don't really know where to go tell you to find it, but single deck. Yeah, it is way better. They're putting all the single deck matches on yeah, here you go. Monkey with a Gun. There's not, it says 12 videos. There's not actually 12. There's like some trailers, but all the stuff's right there. So, but you got to be a Major League Paintball Plus subscriber. Which, you know, maybe you're not right now, but you want to be, maybe you watch, you know, the tournaments. Just wait till Tampa comes, then you can watch a bunch of them when Tampa comes. I know I cancel mine too. I'm not, you know, I'm not paying for it. I don't know. Yeah. They expect us to. That's why there's like a pause feature, you know. They don't expect you to really do it. I mean, they'd probably like us to continually play. Or continue to pay. But yeah, obviously they know you're not going to do that. Dan, I see that. Other big news, contract killers. I did sort of hear that. I was listening to the John Brinkman podcast. I was listening to John Brinkman over on the Play the Game podcast. John Brinkman, the new owner of the Hurricanes, also said that he was going to bring back Contract Killer in a way. And I don't know. Well, yeah, that's about all. They said they were going to like stay with similar designs, which I found odd, but that I wouldn't do, guys. I would investigate different style designs. Yeah, Contract Killer. I don't know if I like, I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if I really owned a lot of Contract Killer stuff ever. They had the like Halo backplates that were kind of cool for a bit, but I don't know. They made all kinds of different like soft goods and stuff. We'll see what happens. I have also this, you know, we kind of noticed the other day when I was we talked about NXL dates and just listing off the locations, and I was like, wait, World Cup doesn't have a location yet. So I was like, why don't World Cup have location yet? And it's mainly because World Cup, they don't ever know what the hell is going to happen. This is last year drone footage from World Cup. It's not the footage is great. It just kind of sucks that it was, kind of murky outside. The hell was I talking about? World Cup locations. Yeah, they just don't have a location yet. And apparently the reason they do not have location secured is because I don't think they ever have this early into the season. Maybe... Oh, my mouse didn't move in there. Maybe actually they... Okay. So they don't have the location secured, but I think that's mainly because it's so far in advance, right? I mean, World Cup isn't... I mean, it's 11 months away, so it's not like super quick. And apparently this land, the property that World Cup is at, is always for sale. It's been for sale for a long time. And they're just not telling them they can use the property, I believe, until it gets closer to the tournament. Because, if the land is sold, then, they got to talk to the new property owner. So I think it's just because they're in like this limbo where the property is kind of for sale, but no one's really sure. So that's the only reason that location hasn't fully been secured. Which... if I was the NXL, would be nerve-wracking. I don't think that they're not going to get it or anything. It's just, we just kind of noticed that last week. But that would be certainly nerve-wracking if you were the NXL, not knowing where potentially the last event or World Cup could be. But I don't think that that's like, groundbreaking. Yeah. I just never really thought about it before. I was like, there's no location. So, I don't know. That's about it. That's that. We have the Summit Awards voting. We could vote for that stuff. Let's just do that. That's next on my list. Summit Awards voting. But you know what first we're going to do? We are going to not do that. We are going to go to paintballruinedmylife.shop. Nope. pbrml.shop. Where there's a link below where you can purchase yourself this badass sweatshirt that I've got on. The Quake teal hoodie. Right here. They're nice. It's well made. It's a heavy quality fleece. You can see 3-panel hoodie, which I really kind of like because it's like thicker and it's going to last you quite a bit longer. It is 100% cotton. It kind of depends on what color you get, whether they have to weave in that polyester. But I guess these are all 100% cotton. I shouldn't even have that on there. $50, the Paintball Ruined My Life store. There's other ones on there, you don't just have to have that Quake one. There's other stuff. You can get barrel covers and there's hats and beanies on the Paintball Ruined My Life store. I really like the skull. The skull logo one might be like my proudest design. But I don't know. I like it. It's one of my favorites. The Paintball Ruined My Life store. But the reason we opened the browser up is because we were going to check out the Summit Awards. So every year for the past, 3 years, the Summit Awards take place. This year, 2025, I should say, Summit Awards have already taken place. They took place this February. So, 10 months ago or so. The 2026 Summit Awards are open for voting right now, and they will be taking place at the Tampa Bay Open. I think it's in March. Right? When is it at? March 19th through the 22nd. So I don't know what is going on here. I have not looked at this in detail, specifically because like I thought it'd be kind of fun to do this live. But every time we try to do this live, it doesn't really work. So if we go to nominees, it'll tell me all the nominees. And if we go to vote, I'm hoping it will let us vote on just the NXL. Oh, son of a bitch. All right, we'll fill that out real fast. We're going to go with Brad Johnson at paintballruinedmylife.com. Okay, that was not so hard. Okay, so this should just be players, right? The full list of award categories, their definitions, and nominees or nominations. Please visit. Okay. So voting's open January. What? Voting opens January 2nd, 2000. Voting open through January 2nd. I'm a jackass. I just would have assumed it would have said like through January. I don't know, whatever. I'm an idiot. 2026 winners announced live in the Raymond James Stadium, March 19th, 2026. Okay, let's just go and vote for these. This is the only thing I looked at. It's Player of the Year. And I don't want to vote for any of those guys. Can I zoom in a little bit so their names are a little easier? I don't want to vote for any of those guys. Can we move in even more? Yeah, that's good enough. Player of the Year. Yeah, I don't want to vote for any of them. I'm like, I don't know. I'm going to pull this chat up here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't want to vote for any of these guys. I mean, like, not like anyone's undeserving. Like, I definitely probably wouldn't vote Fedorov. I don't know if I'm going Tyler either. You know, like, I don't know. You know, maybe John Chavez, maybe Scott Stewart. I still want to call him Stuart Scott. I'm sorry. I even read it and I want to say Stuart Scott. Kirill, I don't know. Every year I want to vote Bridnikov. You know, I either want to vote J-Rab or Bridnikov. So, I don't know. Since it's J-Rab or Bridnikov, I guess I gotta vote for their teammate. We'll just go for Kirill. Offensive player, oh, here we go. Offensive player of the year. Axel Godin, for sure. I mean, out of those people, I mean, Karzalev is great, but I'm gonna go with Axel. Defensive player of the year. Damn, I don't know. TJ Danner, I don't even know who TJ plays for right now. Jason Edwards, there's Tom Guest, formerly the Los Angeles Ironman. Trent Mason from Paintball Fit. Marcelo Margot from Damage. Let me know you guys thinking. Jason Edwards, what do we have for Defensive Player of the Year? I mean, I want to lean toward Jason. I think that you kind of have to be on a winning team. TJ's on XFactor. Okay, yeah. That makes sense. I think that you kind of have to like be on a winning team. And yeah, remember that one-on-one at World Cup where he like, I don't know who that was, shot that person like in the ground, or they kind of like tripped and fell. You like shot him on the ground. That was pretty cool. He's going to get the vote just for that. Jason Edwards. Snake Player of the Year. There's my guy right there. Since we already gave it to Axel, ooh, man, I kind of want to go with, let's go with Hugo, actually. I like going with Hugo. I think Hugo's like shockingly good. I don't think that most people like expect him to be that good. I actually think he might be better than Axel at this point. And absolutely like decimating people. Although Stewart, he won, you know, they won tournaments. I don't know. We're going with Hugo. Dorito Player of the Year, John Chavez, K, Konstantin Fedorov, Brandon Cornell, Pavel Karzalev, or Chris Shear. I want to give Chris Shear some like shiny. Didn't guest play on the Ironman. Yep. Flex Player of the Year. So this is the guy that's kind of like playing all over the place. We got Meter, we have J-Rab, we have Nate Schrader, we have Blake Yarber, and Rainey Stanczak. J-Rab? I have to go between J-Rab, Blake, or Rainey, really. And I think that I would go between J-Rab or Blake. J-Rab. I think their team's just better. Breakout Player of the Year, Alec Holland, Mark Franz, Silos Cortez, Jacob Seabaugh. I mean, I don't know about any of those. I don't know. Alec Holland's really good, but I don't know if it's breakout. Mark Franz has been playing a while, but you could still be breakout player of the year. It's kind of like most improved or something, you know? Like you can still play for a while. Silos, I don't know if I'd say breakout. I mean, he's been known to be good for a long time. Hugo kind of like just came onto the scene, like hardcore. I would either say him or Jacob. Seabaugh did have some really good points too, and we've also already voted for Hugo. Seabaugh, Rookie of the Year. I don't know any of these people, so Seabaugh. Sorry, guys. I know Dylan Rosardo. That's familiar. Oh, Hugo. Jacob or Hugo? Well, I feel like the breakout, if you're the Rookie of the Year, if you're the breakout player of the year, you're probably also the Rookie of the Year, though, right? Fine. Coach of the Year, Big Dave Baines on Impact, Casey from Paintball Fit, SK from Damage, Ryan Brand from XFactor, and Pascal from the TonTon's. We'll just say Casey. I mean, mainly because he's one of the new up-and-comer guys. You know, like, you know, Dave. Everybody knows Dave. Everyone knows SK and Ryan Brand. Pascal's been, he's not maybe like, you know, as famous as these people, but, you know, he's been the TonTon coach for 15 years, and he played for the TonTon's way before. So it's like, you know, he's been around for some times. Pedro Pascal. Hugo has played pro before in the champs bracket from France. Not a true. I didn't think any of these guys were rookies. Honestly, has Hugo even played? Hugo probably played NXL Pro last year. Did he not play pro last year at all? Oh, I guess that's true. They definitely play pro in Europe, huh? They definitely play pro in Europe. Is Seabaugh a rookie too? I don't know. Breakout Team of the Year, Sea Dogs. I'm gonna go Sea Dogs. Although Uprising did well this year, you know, Sea Dogs obviously are like brand new and they did really well, so I would say them. Protocol? Should we vote for Protocol for Divisional Team of the Year? Probably not. Those are your NXL things. Seabaugh, Arsenal, TonTon, FSU. Seabaugh's highest he played was semi-pro with Leverage. Last year, though? That's crazy. I just, like, see the fit guys, and I'm like, they haven't played together for 50 years together? It's, you know, they actually played for different teams. The NXL, this is going to be pretty bad. I'm not going to know any of these people. Any of these ladies. Should we vote? I feel bad even voting for these ones because this is like the semi-pro stuff. Like I wouldn't know any of the semi-pro stuff just because I don't watch it. You know, it's like I just don't watch the webcast, so I don't know what's going on ever. It's like we're just gonna skip it. We'll vote for the Media Award nominees. This should be easier. View the full list. Oh, we already read that. I gotta put my name again. Brad Johnson. Brad. Oh, there we go. Okay. Innovator of the Year. I don't remember. Last time I remember voting for like Jack Wood and John Chambers. I don't remember. Don't know what this even is. Innovator. I'm sorry, Verbal. How would you consider yourself an innovator of the year? Okay. Okay. All right. I don't know. I don't know. I guess it is media, people. I don't know. I do hear you. I think it's really cool. I'm not saying like it's not cool. I just wasn't like innovation. Is that innovative? I guess it's innovative for sure. I don't know. That's not what I thought about. I was like, last time we voted for like Jack Wood and like John Chambers. I was like, for like actual like inventors, I guess. I don't know. I'm not even sure who these other people are, so Verbal, you're getting it. Videography of the year. See, here's the other problem. I don't even really like know what these guys have done, you know? So this is the problem when you don't use the internet, really. You know, I don't really use it so much. I mean, Fava, he was doing George. That's how you pronounce that, right? Fava? I was thinking of like fava beans, too. Fava beans. Yeah, I just don't know what anyone's done. Verbal, you're getting the vote again. Verbal, you probably do video too, right? No? We could vote for... We'll vote for Dan since you're here. Since I don't know... Although the photos that are in like Great American Paintball are like really good. You know what kind of sucks? I've thought about like taking photos at like paintball tournaments, and I'm like, I don't really want to take a lot of photos. I would just be looking around to take like art photos, you know, like actual good photos, like that are composed well, where like the lighting's perfect, like everything's perfect. But like people don't want that, you know? People just want like a mass amount of like, they just want pictures of themselves. So it's like the name of the game is just like getting as much stuff as possible. I'd come home with the tournament. I'm like, here are the 3 pictures I took. It wouldn't really go well. Anyway, podcast of the year. Dan, I know you're in here, but I gotta go spigot and span. I vote for it every time. It's the only paintball thing I watch. Mainly for news. That's really the only reason. Paintball Content Creator of the Year. Paintball Content Creator of the Year will go to... Dan... Let's go with Wolf. Sorry, Wolf's been around for a long time. He's been around for a long time. Oh, no, okay, we'll go with Dan. Fair enough. We didn't do the first one. I gotta go with. That's like the only... It's the only paintball thing I watch. I was gonna put Scotty, though. I thought that'd have been fun. Where's my mouse? Oh, there it is. Nope. Dan. Okay, there you go. Video of the year. Links, view links. Well, there's one of my videos. I haven't seen any of these ones, so... Why can't we just put all 5 of my videos on here? I'm not gonna, like, talk shit about anybody, but the last 5 videos that I've made are all better than all of those. So we're gonna vote for... Faceful. Nope. I don't know. I'm definitely not voting for myself, but I don't even know. Again, I have the problem with not knowing what any of that stuff is. Documentary of the year, definitely, I mean, is definitely that. That was really good. All That Matters, though. How do you, is that really like Road to a Championship? It was very, very good. I mean, this is one of the things where like, I didn't think I was going to watch it, and I actually like sat down and watched the whole thing. TonTon Forever is also very good, although I did not watch the whole thing, so. It's hard for me not to click All That Matters, but I'm not doing it though, sorry. Photo of the year. View photos. Let's actually go here then. Media nominees? Oh, there we go, okay. Photo of the year. Yeah, that's good right there. I don't know who did that. Dan, that's a good one right there. This is what I mean of more like art photos. Like, that's not like, I mean, it's not like artsy really, you know, but like, it's just a good photo. It's like a good photograph. This is also really good. I mean, that's good. Those three are good. This is just like an interesting photo because it's telling a story about where they're at and stuff, you know, but this one's good. Can I open it even bigger, please? Are they going to let me open it bigger? Yeah, I like it. Okay, that's a good one. That's the win. That's the winning photo. Dan, you won the photo contest. Well, I don't know, maybe not, but I love how there's like the NFL in the background. Why? Raymond James Stadium, I guess, but I think it should not be the NFL. That's weird. Okay, we voted. Who knows? You think I'll win the video of the year? Goddamn. I goddamn hope so. You never know, though. You never know. Where was my competition at? Did I pass it? What the heck is going on? Am I like insane? Oh, there we go. No? Video of the year. Oh, yeah. I don't even know if that's a good video. Is that the best one that I've made? It's probably not even the best video. Anyway, those are your Summit nominees. We'll find out who wins in a few months, I guess. Yeah, my content creator, I don't really know, you know. I don't really like, you know, post a lot on Facebook and Instagram. So like, I think that you have to kind of do that. Yeah, it's very good. I really like it. Now I want to like look at the pictures that I've took at paintball. Maybe we might do that, but we got some other stuff we got to talk about first. Actually not tons to talk about. Although I don't really have my like pictures that sorted well and stuff. Let's just try to find, I'm going to try to find like one cool one. I'm going to try to find like an old one. That's cool. Of somebody cool too. Never mind. Okay, it's going to take too long. We're giving up. Is this technically content? I know. I think people just think about Instagram and Facebook. It's okay. I'd prefer not to be recognized. I kind of like it that way. We will now talk about something else. I don't know, just one thing. I guess The Twister Big Game. Twister Big Game is kind of cool. It's coming up. We'll actually click on the... we'll actually go over there and look. Twister Big Game is going to be happening at TRX. I think TRX, right? TXR in Houston, outside of Houston, Texas, owned by John Jackson. And it's just a big game. It's $120. You get a case of paint. It's 2 days long, which, you know, that's pretty good. That's kind of normal. January 24th and the 25th, there's going to be a bunch of giveaways. And, you know, I'm the guy on here always complaining about, like, there's not a lot of fun stuff to do in paintball, and, like, we need more, like, fun stuff to do. This is one of those things, you know, big games are really fun, you know, like, it's just like a huge game, and just dicking around, and I think they were supposed to have, like, tanks, and there's going to be different objectives and all kinds of stuff. There's going to be a night game. So check it out. It should be fun. That's all. I just, you know, I'm all about the big games and all that kind of stuff. So something else that happens on here are channel memberships. I bring up channel memberships because we're going to do a members giveaway here right after this. Anyone who is a channel member here will be included into the giveaway preceding this. If you were a member before the live stream started, you will be included. Or if you were a member in any previous or any future giveaways, if you want to be included in any giveaways, you got to be a member. You can get these cool badges, which is, you know, whatever. But you do get early access to videos. There's exclusive members-only videos, like the debrief series that people have kind of liked, where I like kind of talk about the TonTon video, give my like thoughts on the TonTon video, and maybe some things we missed. There's some other just videos on there that are only available to members, members-only live streams. But really, I think most importantly, you get to help support this channel and be a active part in these videos, and you know, just helping contribute and make sure they stay around. You know, I got to pay rent somehow. So everybody that is a channel member, it goes right to my rent. I guess somehow it does. But like I said, the reason I bring up channel members is because we are going to do a giveaway for all you channel members. So what are we giving away? It's over here. I'm going to keep doing giveaways too. We're going to do another one next week. So yeah, we'll go here. It's kind of like I have so much stuff. I just have so much stuff. I'm going to start like packaging kind of like items together. So like 3 or 4 things, or, you know, depending on what it is. So this is kind of like a Proflex mask kind of head thing. So we have the Dynasty Dragon JT Proflex frames. They're brand new. No one's ever worn these. I'm not like, you know, giving you used masks. Brand new foam too. That's not used foam. Some G1 foam for your mask. You know, I won't do that. A Tiger Wear headband. It's a headband. These 3 items. And the way this works is if you are the winner in the YouTube, on the YouTube channel, like this. Oh, we're already over there. If you're on the YouTube channel, it's probably easier in a browser. I mean, you can do this on mobile too. It's easy. There's a posts area where I'm going to post a members only post that says like, I got to be signed in as like I'm not signed in as myself. Whatever. We will really fast. Oh, whatever. A community post. So if you win, you have to go find that post and reply to that post. It's really the only way I can get your contact information. So there will be a members only post for winners, and you have 30 days to claim your prize. And I will try to contact you and figure it out as good as I can. But you gotta have this members post area, or you gotta go to that members only area. 30 days, and I'm just throwing it back in the pile, and we're gonna raffle it off again. Or we're gonna give it away again, I should say. So, we are gonna spin this wheel up one time. Make sure I'm doing it right. One time, and whoever wins... There'll be some people that probably don't want to win stuff, so depending on who actually wins, I might spin it up again. There's a few people in here who, you know, don't really need this stuff. Like Magid right there. Random, you got yourself a ProFlex goggle frame, G1 foam, and a Tiger Wear. I hit the button. I didn't mean to do that. A Tiger Wear. Ooh, it disappeared. Random. Yeah, I'll leave that message over in, like I said, over on the Facebook. Not Facebook. Fucking Christ. I'm all over the place right now. The YouTube channel. You got to hit this post area, and I will make a post, a members only post, just like that to try to track you down. You got 30 days, and then it's going back in the bucket. Random? Yeah, like some of you guys, like I said, some people, you know, we might spin it up again. Like Magid Idris was one of those right above him. Magid probably doesn't really need this stuff. Plus then we gotta ship it to like wherever he's living. These three things. And I don't know what we're doing next, but we've got, you know, I got barrels down there. We've got more headbands and all kinds of stuff. So we're just going to keep going through it. And, yeah. If you're a paintball company out there, maybe you want me to, I don't know, give some of your stuff away. Let me know. Probably not. Most paintball companies do not do that. They don't like it. I don't know why. Oh, that's the ruined clips thing. That's why. I'm gonna shut my window. I've had this window open because it's hot in here. And I'm gonna shut it. Chris Raymond! I haven't seen you guys in a long time. I was thinking about that this week. I was like, man, I haven't been to the paintball field in a long time. I hope everybody's well. I thought about the paintball field because I thought about this. Capital Edge Paintball Park here in Sacramento, California, the place Chris Raymond goes to all the time. They are doing Glowball a couple weeks, January 24th. I don't know how much it is. Maybe he says right here, though. And I really look forward to doing this. I intend on playing. I'll at least be there, that's for sure. You know what I really don't like, though, is all this AI stuff. I mean, like, I'm not like, you know, fucking crazy anti-AI guy, but I think if you're trying to sell a product or something, you gotta not use AI, right? Like, I don't know. Because it's like, you know, this stuff's not real. Like, that's not real. It's not gonna look anything like that. Don't expect it to look anything like that because it's not what it looks like. That's not real. Not a fan. I don't know. It's just bothers me a little bit. But yeah, it's just kind of hard to see what's actually happening. And but I look forward to go playing Glowball. I don't think I'm going to be wearing a bunch of neon like these AI characters, though. I'll probably be wearing just a bunch of black so I can go like incognito. It just makes it a little hard to see what's, you know, going on with the AI stuff. That's all. Chris, I do still want to borrow that headband hero thing. Yeah. Chris Martin, you're looking for a VM682 autococker adapter. I don't know. Is that even a thing? Is that even a real product? That's funny. You need it has to be Lapco though. You know who used to have a bunch of barrel adapters was Trinity Paintball. I wonder if they're still a company. Let's go find out. I used to buy like a bunch of Trinity Paintball. We used to buy like, oh wow, look at this. Yeah, they're still kind of going. We used to buy like all kinds of like this kind of stuff, like tactical stuff from Trinity. Paintball, marker, barrel. They had all kinds of like wacky stuff. Check out the slings. I once one time tried to attach a sling to a G6R. It didn't really work right. I was trying to like play speedball with a sling and shit. And that was kind of funny. John, the wind chill is 26 degrees. Yeah, that's too cold to play paintball. It's been really cold here too, but it's been really foggy here. But I was able to go above the fog line, which is very odd. I mean, it was 70 degrees yesterday in Pollock Pines, which is nuts. Because here in Sacramento, it was like 42, if anyone's interested. No one's interested. Josh, I wouldn't be playing either. I think I said John. I think it's 26 is just insane. I mean, dude, all the time I look at other places to live, and I mean, it would be very difficult for me to move anywhere. It doesn't matter where I'm from. You know, if I lived in Indiana, if I lived wherever, you know, I'd always be like looking at interesting places to live and what it's like there. But it would be so hard for me to move just because I can't leave my friends and family. It just can't happen. Like, I just can't do it. You know, I had friends that moved away when, you know, we were in our 20s or something like that, and I could never do it. So I always look at like places like Indiana. Man, I pay so much money to live my life here in California. It's getting stupid. It's getting stupid everywhere, but here it's just getting out of control. And I always look at other places and I'm like, man, I would die if it was cold outside. I would die if it was cold outside. So I couldn't do it. But I also would be doing it because I wouldn't move. You know, all my friends would be there and I just wouldn't, it would be the place I lived. So I'm always like, oh, there's no way I could live there. But, you know, if I was from there, that's where I would live. No, I don't know. That's too cold. So I've wanted to try something for a while now. I've wanted to try something we like to call Tech Corner. And I think that I'm going to make a theme song for it. It'll be like, da 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 da, Tech Corner. You know the Crossfire? Anyone remembers like Crossfire? The like little, you got to be old though. You got to be like 40, where they shot those little like BBs at each other and it was Crossfire. I think I'm going to be, Tech Corner is going to be the Crossfire theme song. Da da da, Tech Corner. Something like that. You get caught up in Tech Corner. Anyway, we're going to do Tech Corner now. So, all I want to do is just see how this goes. I just have a bunch of tank rigs, and like, I don't know, people are always like concerned about like not disabling. You get caught up in the crossfire. Okay. Yeah, people are always just so concerned about like tank rigs and stuff. You know, they're always scared about taking tank rigs apart. So we're just going to take some tank rigs apart and I'm going to we're just going to walk through it and see what happens. You know, I've got we have Ninja rigs over here. I have an HK Army Aerolite 2 regulator that's mine that I've never taken apart. So we're going to take it apart and look inside. But I'm going to turn this light on a little bit more. I think that might be a little too bright. That might be a little too bright. Maybe that's a little better. We'll zoom in a little bit. Oh. So hard to get the lighting good. Maybe it's easier if it's on the black background. I was looking at this earlier, but I don't know. I can't ever decide. Because when you put it on the black, and it's like a little hard to see. Yeah, it's definitely better, huh? It's just too blown out. Okay, tech corner. I'm gonna move this. Okay, what are we doing? Taking apart this reg. Yeah, so like, I don't know. I just feel that like, you know, tank regs, we always like think about our guns so much, and it's like, they're obviously important, right? You know, you need, you know, your regs to work or whatever, your gun to work, but nobody really thinks about, you know, tank regs. Obviously, if your regulator is extremely consistent, you know, you're on your gun, great, but you have to feed it consistently as well. So even if you're, you know, everything's working perfect, you know, your tank's got to work perfect too. So let's just take this apart. I'm wondering if we can see. Well, I've literally never taken one of these apart, so I really have no idea what's inside this. I took the air out of it today. So there are, we can see those set screws right on top. These are a little bit different though. I mean, these tank regs are a little bit different than like that standard Ninja regulator where you have, you know, the bonnet and the base. These have the base, you have this like top part, and then as well as those threads. Meh. Yeah. I'm just looking at the lighting. I'm so crazy about how stuff looks. So let's just take off these set screws and, I don't know, see what the hell's in there. Give me your tank questions too, if you like have like a weird question or something like that. Here's another set on the other side. We're just going to take these all the way out. Probably technically don't need to, but since they are going to be turning, you're going to be rotating that whole top piece. It's probably better to, because we don't want it to be messing up the threads. I don't really like how many goddamn set screws these have. And I'm not even sure if I have to remove all the set screws either. There's definitely no air. It's very important, I would say, to make sure there's no air in your tank. And sometimes, you know, pressing even on that pin right there, if you press on that pin, sometimes your tank can be bad. And even pressing on that pin, there could be air in there. So, you know, look at that gauge. And then, you know, double check there's no air in there. The way that works, we can unscrew that whole top part. And inside here, there should be kind of a few pieces. We have that right there. And this piece, you know, it's like all these tank rigs nowadays. You can kind of adjust this thread. So I can rotate, you know, that thread around to kind of position my tank a little better. So obviously there's some O-rings right there, but they're not super critical. They're just helping kind of like fill. There's also some like, there's that one red shim. So really all we want to say is, all I want to do is, I don't have like a rag or anything. Oh, yeah, we do. We just clean it off, really. I mean, you can kind of see it's not really that dirty. I mean, you can kind of see there's that little bit of darkness right there. Like right there, I'll wipe it off and it'll be gone. All that is really dirt. I mean, it's like micro fine, like little teeny dust particles that are either in my fill nipple that I'm pressing into the tank, or somehow somehow inside the air compressor is getting dirty air in there. So really, this is already pretty clean. It's not like this needs, it's not damaged or anything like that. And generally, if you play in clean areas, right? Like I'm not playing in dirt or dust anywhere. It's just, kind of normal. It's not sand or anything. I mean, regulators aren't going to really get that dirty. But that's probably as much grease as you want to put on there as well. Just a thin coat. You don't have to go crazy. Probably just as much as you're going to put in your gun on the bolt system. On these, there are one on that base and there's one on the top. That's the regulator seat. Really the part that's going to seal everything. There's a little bit of a seal on there. That actually bottoms out on the bottom in there. It seals off. The reg seat is a very, very, very hard piece of plastic. So I don't know, put a little grease on there. You probably don't need to. That's everything. And it's clean, really. I mean, maybe I give a wipe down on the inside. Ooh, if I can, maybe look down in there. Maybe see if there's any, just junk inside there. We'll just shove that in there and kind of move it around. One thing you also want to make sure, though, is that if you are just taking this thing off and, moving your regulator around, there is a little teeny O-ring in there. You can see that O-ring as well. That's going to seal on that pin. So when that pin goes in there, it's sealing on there. They can just kind of pop out, but the easy way to get it out is probably just lightly push it from the inside, and then it'll just kind of pop out. That's another thing, though, that you probably don't need to grease, so I wouldn't worry too much about. It's another very, very hard O-ring, and it's not really moving. It just seals on there like that. It goes right back. We can just kind of plop it in, and I always push them down with my pinky like that. We can put the pin valve, the pin back in, as well as the spring. Okay, there's an easier way to do this. I'm trying to do it on camera good. Goes in. Bingo. And I don't really know. I don't really remember, because typically those shims right there, we can add these shims right there to make the spring, slightly a little bit thicker. That's going to increase that spring tension and allow a little bit more air to come out. Generally, if you have those two red shims in there, it's going to be a little higher pressure, though. And I believe that we checked this and it was at 450 or 500. So I don't think that I'd be running, higher pressure like that. That tops back on there. Then it really just screws back in. I would probably hold this like that, though, completely upside down, and then put the tank back on. Because that's going to keep all those parts kind of lined up. And it really just kind of bang, your tank's back together. That's all you got to do. We got a clean tank rig. And it's also important that you're using the correct kind of grease as well. So one thing that, regular paintball gun oil, like that right there, is just normal oil that is not a silicone-based oil. It's a petroleum-based oil. What normal oil will do, like that, you just want to stay away from oil. You really need to use silicone-based grease. You actually have to use silicone-based grease, because one of the things that oil does is when you put it under a lot of pressure, it can heat up and then just spontaneously combust and explode, whereas the silicone is just not going to do that. So when we're using, with our paintball guns, we really probably try to make sure that you're using silicone-based grease, not oil-based grease. But if you're buying, any paintball grease, it's fine. Like that Planet Eclipse stuff is 100% not oil-based. The Planet Eclipse stuff is really made by a company called Dow Corning. Dow is a huge company. They make all kinds of different greases, but what's inside there is the Dow 33 Medium. It's actually a bearing grease, but we've been using it for paintball guns the whole entire time. There's a couple different weights to it. You can get like regular 33, you can get 33 light, you can get a couple of them. Let's just put these all back in there. And these screws, these set screws too, they just have to be in there. I mean, you can see how I'm putting it in, right? It's not heavy. I'm not putting tons of torque on it. I'm just, making sure it's there. Because with all those on there, they're all pressing down, everywhere. There's going to be enough to grab it, so it doesn't need to be like super, super tight. Yeah. That's that thing. What else? I've got so many other like tank regs here. I don't know. Let's take this thing. Let's talk about this one. So one thing also that people like worry about a lot is damaging the top little lip around their tank. So you can see like this, the threads on that one, the threads look perfectly fine, but we can see all the damage that's done to like that top right there. And really it doesn't matter. So all this top ring does, all this top piece right here, not the whole top, but like just this top little lip that we can see that's bent over, all that does is adds a little bit of a pocket or whatever to help hold that tank O-ring on. So if you do have a tank like this that's damaged, that is damaged a little bit too much, that will not allow you to really kind of put a tank O-ring on correct, you can see how it's, it just doesn't go on there. It's all like bulgy and coming off the side because it's all smashed. You can remove that. So if you really wanted to, you could get a pair of like needle nose pliers or something like that and break off this piece, just pry it off. And as long as you have, a good portion on the backside that's going to hold that O-ring in place, you're perfectly fine. Should also say these double style O-ring Ninja regulators, you don't really need 2 O-rings. It'll work fine with just one. Yeah. So the threads on there, that like little top piece, is not like, super, 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 super critical. I don't know. I was going to say how to take these off, the bonnet off a little easier. So same thing with these Ninja regs. They need, this is one of their real affordable regulators, or Ninja's no longer really making stuff. I don't know. This was one of their just really inexpensive, just basic tank regulators that would have come on anything, right? It would have come on the 48 3000 tanks, or the, SL2 tanks. They're higher end bottles. This has 2 set screws only. Okay. So one problem with these is like, imagine this has been on there for a really long time, right? Sometimes we're taking apart regs that are 15 years old. So if it's been sitting on there, it could really like, just seize on there just because it's been sitting for so long. And some of these regulators are going to be brass, like this one, matched up to that aluminum. And sometimes that can really bind together and stick real tight. So what I like to do, and what Ninja's kind of always told us to do, is you get a screw, or a bolt, not a bolt, but you get a screw. You definitely get a screw, and it's just got to obviously be the same thread as that set screw that came out of there, and they just thread that in there. You can't lock it down though, because you got to remember you got to turn it. So lock it down, turn it out like, I don't know, a turn and a half, and it'll just give you a little bit of leverage, so you can actually like push on it to loosen it up. Whereas it's pretty much, impossible if you're like, there's just nowhere to grab the thing. There's obviously certain tools you could get, like if you have C pliers, if you have like vice grip pliers and stuff you could use. But that's the best way to do it, because you can actually get leverage. One thing you want to do though, for sure, is that I'll show you what can happen here, is if we just turn it off just a little bit, it'll rotate and we can get it to turn, but it's starting to get really stiff right there. And that's because those threads are right there. You can see this flat spot. There's that flat spot where the set screws were sitting. You can see that right there. So you want to back it off so that you're not like forcing this screw through the threads. Because if it's screwed in too far and you start unscrewing it, it's going to be like just dragging on those threads. So you want to be real careful. Tank regs. Sometimes we pull out this piston. This is a ball valve, so you can see that ball bearing fall right out of there. And the same thing's going to be set in there. So you can see there's a little bit of a green steel. It's so hard to see, but we can again grab our pick and just lightly you can feel it. And sometimes they'll come right out. There it is. And we can just grab it. Come on, it's like just wedged in there. Perfect. There we go. There it is. So sometimes, what'll happen too is you'll get a leak coming out of the top of your tank. So if you don't want to change that O-ring, you don't have any or something, you can just flip it over too. Because it's unlikely that it's damaged on both sides. So you can flip it over to the side that actually seals on that ball bearing. You can do that. Let me see. I wrote some notes down of what to do. How often do you actually need to rebuild and grease your regulator? Again, it's going to kind of depend on where you play, right? Like I was saying, I play in a fairly clean environment where there's not a lot of dust and dirt and, there's no sand around or anything crazy. So it's just a lot cleaner. So it really just kind of depends on, how clean and dirty said environment is. Back on there. And these bonnets don't have to be tight either. Really, you just hand tighten that thing. So you just kind of put it on, although it can get a little hard just because there's that spring tension. So maybe we put that in there and boop, just till it stops. Put put the set screws back in. My other one is, do you use Loctite on threads when putting it back together? No, I would not. The only thing that you would want to seal thread-wise are going to be the gauge, right? That gauge is going to have some sort of sealant, as well as the fill nipple. But I don't have any Teflon tape. I was going to take those off and show people how to put Teflon on good, but I don't have Teflon tape. You can use a skate tool. You can use this skate tool if you want to remove your burst discs. I've literally always done this. Boop! It fits perfect, and bam, burst discs come off. What's good about all the new burst discs is they are unified burst discs, so you really do just screw these bad boys on. Everything's kind of universal now. These used to not be so simple of a thing. I'd use a skate tool, or I'd use a box end wrench, which I don't own a box end wrench that actually fits this, which is, interesting. I think it's an 1/8, right? What is the chat saying? Anything at all? When I go on long rants like this, people don't chat anymore. Skate tool, and again, that's something you also don't need to get tight, right? It doesn't really like need to seal on anything. So inside of there, you can see that brass piece. It's a little bit hard to see, but it sticks out just a little bit, right? And it's actually sealing on the face inside there. So it actually seals against the regulator. So that's something too. You don't need to make tight, right? You just, make it tight enough so it doesn't fall out. And it'll kind of like seal itself in there. 3/8? I don't know. I goddamn hate the fucking not metric system. I hate our imperial metric measurement system. It'd be a lot easier if I was like 5 millimeters or whatever. Tank regs. Do you need to remove shims to change the pressure? Yeah, but you should look up your thing. Some tools that I would probably recommend having. I mean, everyone's going to have you should really, if you have a paintball gun, you really should have O-ring picks. I mean, these things are just $4 on Amazon or something like that. And you can get a 4-pack that's got all different little hooks and stuff on it. Yeah, I don't know what else. Who has other tank questions? Hit me up with your tank related questions. Tank questions. Give me reg questions. Spit them at me. Is anybody even here still? Not really. We're back. Tell me you don't work on old cars. Yeah, I don't work on old cars. Screw that shit. I'm not working on cars ever. I took apart my reg. This is the first time I ever took it apart. That's good. Are you a full tank cover guy? I have not used a tank cover in probably 20 years. I actually tried to use a tank cover and I just couldn't do it. It just made the tank fatter and bigger and bulkier and I didn't like it. So I much like the streamlined whatever. Everyone's doing this too and I don't think this does anything at all. I don't know. Maybe it does a little bit. I don't know. Yeah, it just makes the tanks too big and I couldn't do it. I tried to play with a JT tank cover a couple months ago and I was like, I can't do it. I also don't like those rubber tank butts. I never really liked those rubber tank grip things. Because they, to me, make it so, grippy. I don't like it. Because I'll be, shooting, this way, and then want to switch hands to, shoot the other way. So I'm moving my gun over, and, it's always getting caught on shit. It's getting caught on my jersey, and, I don't like it because it's so grippy. I prefer the, no grip. Because I can move it around, across my body, easier, and it's not getting, fucking caught on shit. Favorite rag removal method? A fan of Stanchi's method? I don't know. I'll show you what method I'm a fan of. This is the method that no one's going to probably talk about. I might have talked about this stuff before. So, here's what you need to do. This is not what, this is probably not what most people are going to do. You need to get the CP tank removal tool. Or no, the CP reg removal. This big block. This big aluminum block. It goes in the vise. And then obviously you can kind of see that you put the regulator in the vise, down in the vise. Or you can mount it however you want in the vise. You get that. And you get one of these. I'm just gonna get my blowtorch out. What you need is a semi-truck oil filter strap. That bad boy. Nope, not that one. I don't like that one. There you go. Nah, I don't like that one either. That's the one you want right there. That's the one you want. So this is a strap wrench, but it's made for oil filters. And this curved piece right here, this is a piece of steel that you put your big, fucking bar in or whatever. So you put it in there And this piece of steel right here is the perfect size of a tank. So it like really like fits on the tank really well. So I really, really like these. And some brand says use a rubber one. I know they don't make these in rubber because I don't think that they're strong enough, but you can get a piece of rubber and just put it underneath so it like grips and shit like that. That's what I do. Unfortunately though, all that stuff is going to cost more than your tank probably. Man, I had so much cool paintball tools and stuff. I know I don't trust the 3D printed, Chris. I know I've seen that like Exalt made those. I think HK. I know quite a few people were making those. They're definitely cool. I don't know. I prefer the vise and like, you know, but you gotta have a big workbench. You gotta put the vise, you know, you gotta attach it to the work. It's a whole thing. So, but that's the best method. I mean, that literally is the best method. The whatever strap wrench. And the CP, the custom products tank tool. Look at this, Dockfire. It is the best. Just because it's a big ass hunk of aluminum, you know, and you can just put it in the vise and let her rip. It is kind of neat, that like hitch removal, but I don't know. How often are you removing your tank rigs though, you know? I'm just not ever like, yeah, removing my tank rig, you know, I don't know. I don't know. It's just not happening ever. The only time I ever did it was to fly. You know, I don't know. I'm just not flying around that much with my tanks anymore. That was Tech Corner. That's okay. Maybe next time we'll have like an actual plan. I'll bring like an autococker and I'll be like, here's how you time an autococker. We could do that, but it might take a while. Chris, I swapped different lengths of regs kind of often. That's fair enough. Fair enough. That's the only other thing I thought about. I was like, well, they do make different length regs. I know, it's like I want to use a tank extender sometimes, but I'm like, damn, it's just too long. I want it to be like this much shorter, like half the length or something. Nice stash, yeah, that's all right. You like it? I think it makes me look younger. I think that's just because I'm like more clean shaven. I feel like I look like a firefighter. Do I look like a firefighter or like a cop? A firefighter or a cop? Nope, I don't buy anything for Christmas. Well, that's not always true. Sometimes. I really don't, though. Everyone's just old and no one cares, so don't really do it anymore. Ooh, a male dancer. All right, I'll take that. Autococker timing. The hard part is like, I do it live. The only way I do it is if I was doing it live. And I don't know, let me see this again. I'm just wondering how we'd like film it. Yeah, I mean, I can do it. I could do it. We could do it probably. I gotta find a gun. Who's got a cocker they want me to time? I also need parts. I don't really have the parts to do it. I need to get some stuff. I mean, I really just need a valve tool. If we're gonna take it all the way apart, I just need a valve tool. Yep. was trying to think of anything else I'd need, but no. Although I haven't like timed a cocker in like forever. Well, maybe like 6 years, 7 years. Not too long. Chris, you have an Oracle and a Pro stock. I mean, I'll literally take them from you if you want me to like, if you want me to take one and like do it on here, maybe. I'm trying to think. I'm like, I also want to do stuff that like maybe is helpful. That's why I was like trying to do the tank rig thing. I'm like, cockers? I don't know. I do want to borrow that headband hero, Chris. I really do. I want to do that again. Valve tools. Tech corner. I don't know. I just want to have like other fun little segments, because I would like to try to make this more of like a show in a way or something, you know? Rather than me just riffing, talking at the camera the whole time. I think it'd be cool if we had like, you know, segments or did stuff. It would also be a little bit easier if I had like a cast or something, so we could, I don't know. Angels? I know, there's no, angels are so hard though. I don't have any tools for angels. And like, we're not going to be able to find one that can be fixed, you know. I need parts. It's like a crazy, it's a whole thing. Got it, Chris. Your work bag. I almost went to your work the other day. I almost went to your work on Friday, actually, at 3 p.m. I was like, I was thinking about going watching basketball. Why am I opening my calendar? I don't know. Yeah, I want to think of like just other like, you know, I don't know, segments or like fun, interesting things. And I don't know, Tech Corner was one of those things. So if anybody has like cool ideas for like segments or something that we could do, reoccurring segments or whatever. You were at basketball? I mean, you might as well, right? Right there. I watched water polo practice at Rio Americano yesterday. For sure, Chris. Martin. That's pretty much what I was thinking. I do have like a list of Tech Corner topics, but I don't know if they're that good. But most of these are just questions, like why cheap gauges cause tuning headaches, why air temperature changes your velocity. But that's so crazy. That's like such a complicated topic. Actually, the air temperature, that's not that hard, but man, I tried to make one on why your tank gets hot and cold, and I was like, fucking Christ. Like, this whole goddamn physics video I'm trying to make. I wish I trusted freight companies more. Why? What's up with the new Field 1 gun? I don't know, John. That's a good question. I did see the like, I don't know, you know, just little sneak shots or whatever it was. People were saying it was a free flow force or something like that. I don't know. I can find out for you. But if I find out, I won't tell you. But I really don't know. I really don't know. I wouldn't tell you because I'd have to ask people that, you know, I don't want to. I'm not going to like call Field 1 and be like, what's up? Well, I wouldn't have to call either, but whatever. I could ask people. They'll tell me and then they'll be like, you're not supposed to tell everyone. I'm like, yeah, sorry. That's kind of why I don't like knowing. I kind of prefer not knowing what's happening sometimes, because then I can just talk about anything. I can just whatever. I can talk about whatever I want, and I don't really know what's happening. So when new stuff's coming out, or whatever, sometimes I know that the companies don't want me to talk about it, or don't want people talking about it, just because it's marketing thing. They're trying to release it at a time or whatever. So I kind of not knowing. These are also cool to have. Just a magnetic tray. So handy. Allegedly, I say apparently all the time though. Apparently this is what it is. But I use that word all the time in my regular day language. What about MacDev? I don't know. I saw MacDev, they were shipping some of their guns today. That's kind of cool. Or they were getting ready or something like that to ship out GTX, right? I think that's what they call that. Chris, remake your old video on DIY pressure tester. Do that in the video, do that on the live stream. I thought about that kind of too when I was thinking about tank stuff. Yeah, I mean, I could do that. I was trying to think about I need to buy a bunch of shit though, and it's I don't want to buy stuff to do it. Because to do it like I would recommend doing it, I don't know. See how much, I don't even know how much stuff costs anymore. What happens if I just put QD? Well, why did it open in a new window? I like that one. See, because I'd want to get a bunch of quick disconnects. I'd need I'd want to buy 3 quick disconnect sets. So I'd need I mean, what looks to be $100 in quick disconnects. And then gauges. I don't know. Crashing out. What? Who crashed out? Someone crashed their car? See, I seen a video today or yesterday of some guy crashing out on one of the paint truck guys. Oh, really? I don't know. I don't know though. I know that when people get mad at me though, how about you guys too, right? If somebody's having a problem, and are you more likely to yell at, if you're going to yell at them, or if somebody's having a problem and they approach you and they're yelling at you, are you less likely to help them or more likely? It's dude, if you're just not an asshole and you talk to people correct, maybe they'll be more apt to help you. So I truly don't understand people yelling at people and getting mad. It's I was talking to Comcast the other day. Jesus Christ, dude. Comcast. I was talking to Comcast the other day, or Xfinity or whatever we call them now. And I don't know. So my internet is just automatically, it's set up for auto pay on my credit card. And my credit card expired. So I didn't think about it. So the bank, or no, I don't know. Comcast charged me $25 because of that, as a overcharge fee or some bullshit. So I called them to try to get them to explain to me what the fee was and have them remove it. And this lady, I was like, I don't understand. She kept telling me to call my bank. I'm like, lady, the fee is from Comcast. Like, it says on my bill, Comcast. Like, there's a $25 fee on my bill. And she's like, you have to call your bank. I'm like, I don't understand. And she's like, she got so mad at me. It was like yelling at me. It was crazy. Eventually talked to some new lady, and then they figured it out, and then also magically signed me up for new, faster internet. But it's cheaper, so, you know, whatever. But it was just crazy that this lady was like mad at me. She was like so frustrated. It was crazy. It's like, what are you mad at me for, lady? It was so weird. So weird. I don't know where she was from. She was from, I couldn't tell. Eastern Europe was my guess. And then I got transferred to some other lady. And then all of a sudden, like, Korean. They were speaking Korean. I'm like, what? I don't know. Anyway. Chris Martin, Fitum Fiber. Come on, I probably can't get that. I don't think I can get it. I have a gig. I pay for a gig. And it's, I mean, I was paying 85 for like 600 down, but now I have a gig for 65. But the real problem I have is I'm like, dude, I don't give a shit if I have a gigabit up or a gigabit down. Like, they're like, oh, you get a gig down, but here's your 35 megabit upload speed. I'm like, why can I download stuff 50 times faster? I hate it. But they say on their website that they do offer like symmetrical. I'm like, these motherfuckers. They said they'd give me the same price for 5 years. So 65 is pretty cheap. I paid like 110 when gigabit first came out. So, I mean, at least it's getting cheaper. Nate, how are you, sir? I must have been the only human on the planet that never had an issue with Comcast when I was in SAC. I mean, mine's worked perfect. I really haven't had a physical problem. Had them for like 9 years, and every time I called, they got a discount or upgrade. That's what I wanted to happen. That's why I called them. I was like, I'm just going to call and get them to remove this $25 fee. I mean, they'll do it if I ask. And I spent like 30 minutes on the phone with this first lady, just totally confused by what was going on. So, yeah. 2 gigs down, 1 gig up. I would shit my pants if I got a gigabit up. The fastest I've ever been able to get is like 45 megabits or some bullshit. I'm like, motherfucker, give me that 1,000. Yeah. Cole, what's going on? Cole, link in the description. Oh, my sweatshirt? Yeah, go buy yourself a Paintball Ruin My Life sweatshirt. Yeah, I actually upload stuff, you know? Like, for most people, they don't care, you know? No one cares about that upload speed, really, because you're not, like, uploading huge documents. But, like, I am, dude. Like, always. Like, constantly, you know? Like, I almost go over my, like... Or, like, on my previous plan, I had, like, a 1.2 terabyte limit per month. And I get close to going over that. They'll, like, send me, like, messages, like... hey, you're going to go over your limit. And I'm like, fucking... So, now, I like this, thank you. They are cool. It's kind of hard to see on camera, but no, it's not really. It's kind of a earthquake design. Hopefully I'll be doing some more merch stuff soon here. Internet. James, sir. I think they expect to dish out discounts due to the lack of give a shit from the folks who actually called to complain. For sure. Man. Some brains. Yeah, I don't want to do that. There's been times when I've tried to download terabytes, and it's like fucking so hard, dude. It's like so hard. Like trying to like recover or like trying to like download Google Drive and stuff. Like, I'm with Cole. Everybody like give the live stream a like. If you're here right now, if you're one of these 60 people still left, give the live stream a like. Or maybe, you know, I don't know, do something else. Like, what else could you do for me? That's about all. Maybe check out the merch on the Paintball Ruin My Life store. What I don't know. I was going to ask you guys, if I was to do a collab with any company, what company should I have like make me merch? Like I was thinking about like having a company make me, you know, X amount of t-shirts or something. Not like, you know, blank t-shirt company, but what paintball brand, what paintball company should I contact and be like, Glock would be cool. I mean, personally, I prefer Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola, you know, that'd be cool. Yeah, I don't know. A force? How about not a gun? Probably not a gun. Chris, what size is this? This is a large. Yeah. I normally wear extra large. I got this because I want to run in it. So it's like, I don't know, it fits me, but it's a little bit like more streamlined than like I would normally get. I'm still not nobody yet, I guess. Trojan, Nike. I have a list of paintball companies that I might contact and be like, can we like do something together, yo? I don't know what that means, but we have to combine our powers into one to become Captain Planet. Who watched Captain Planet? How old is everybody in here? The Paintball Ruin My Life JT Proflex. I know they have to be print. They'd have to be like print though. Dude, Buffalo Wild Wings. I know. I saw that Beck Bennett is their new Beck Bennett from Saturday Night Live. He's their new like spokesperson. The Under cool with me, or do they like? Is that the guys who wanted to kill me and throw me in a river? No, I think we're cool. Under's okay, I think. Hooters would be cool. Chris, I like Sandana and Hormesis. I like Hydra and Hormesis. James, Skull. Yeah, that's actually, that was actually my original idea about a year ago. Was talk to Paul from Skull. I actually did talk to him about it already. Victoria's Secret. I know the only reason I don't think Paul is because like, I don't know what I did here. I think I like cut myself shaving my neck. Like bumps. I don't really shave. It's been like so long since I've clean shaven though. The only reason I didn't want to do Paul or do like Skull is because they're headbands, and I've had headbands for so long that I've kind of, I don't know, I was thinking about like something different or something. I don't know. That's a wacky hickey. I mean, I guess it could be. Who has hickeys at 41 years old? They're gonna work up covered in hickeys. They're like, dude, what the fuck? You 15? What is going on? I mean, 15 might be young. Although, I had a hickey or two at 15, maybe. Fucking hickeys. It's such a weird thing. I'm not even that, like, familiar. So Chris Rangel owns Under, correct? Like, right? Under paintball. I would think that I would probably go, I mean, something shifted over there and made a noise. I do think that I would probably go with people that I know, though, in reality. Because there's a bunch of, like, companies, people that I know that are doing things that I'm, like, friends with. So, ooh, I do kind of like these the basketball jerseys. That's kind of fun. Although I'm going to be really picky about it. I'm going to be like, these, if they were made like I want, they should be like $150. So. Is it an actual tag? I want to make like real jerseys. Like real basketball jerseys. I kind of like it though. I kind of like that. Performance equipment. Oh yeah, animal paintball. I forgot about that. Yeah, paintball stuff. I know, Fidlay, I did think about that. I saw like Greenspan has that hat that says coach it or poach it, don't coach it or something like that. It's really good. I really like that hat. I think it's really cool. I just like all the block letter on it, all the writing too. I just think it looks kind of cool. For sure. I mean, I don't know. Something's got to happen soon, though, so. Start a new brand for LGBTQ plus players. Is that the only acronyms we have now? I mean, I did make rainbow barrel covers at one point, but not anymore. I mean, 98% of the paintball companies are made for straight middle-aged white men. Anyway, yeah, it'll happen. I don't know what's gonna happen, but I'm gonna do something soon. I mean, I'd really like to make like a mask with carbon or something. That would be really cool. Hit up Old Town. What is Old Town? And get a paintball ruin my life kayak. Is like Old Town, is it like a kayak place, Chris? I think I've only gone to, there's like a kayak place on like, oh man, I don't know, like El Camino and like by Arden Fair Mall or something. Not El Camino. It was probably off Arden. I think that's the only place we were going to look for a kayak. I think so. Although I want to get like an adventure kayak. I think I am going to get a stand-up paddleboard. I think that's going to be the thing that I do buy. You know, because previously, when I've looked at kayaks, or not like, as much as I like detest actually buying stuff on Amazon, I don't. Okay. They have like stand-up. Dude, stand-up paddle boards are like so cheap. Look at this, 180 bucks. And like apparently they're not bad. I mean, they're inflatable, so they're kind of a bitch. And they might not be, you know, the greatest, but 180 bucks is like, I mean, it's so cheap. And you know, I live right by the river, so I'll show you a video. Damn, I don't have my phone. I was gonna say, I'll show you a video I took at the river the other day. So they're really cheap. And I mean, you know, like I said, obviously they're not that great, but like, you know, to go dick around on the river or the lake or something like that, if you live close to like, you know, any of those bodies of water, it's like, they cheap. And what I like about it is, I live in an apartment, so I can't have like a fucking huge kayak. So, or like a huge boat or anything. So I gotta try to like figure out how to like store the thing. And what's cool about those stand-up paddle boards is like I can have like, or the inflatable stuff is like, I can get in a car. I can take any mode of transportation. I can just pack the like paddle board down, and now I can like, get on a bus or like a train. I don't know. I can do all kinds of stuff. So let's hit up Natoma. You know what I want to do is go all the way down the river. I want to like paddle it down the river. I've at one point investigated taking a kayak from my home all the way to San Francisco. I did investigate that once. Because there's plenty of places you can actually like stop and go in the Delta. If you want to do that, Chris, we should do that. Go from Sacramento to San Francisco. Although you can't really go to San Francisco because you have to like paddle all the way around the bay. You can't really paddle across. You can't really just like, We're going to look at the bay real fast. Google Maps. Okay, maybe not. San Francisco. The San Francisco treat. So yeah, one of the problems here is, so I think we could make it. I can make it. We can go all the way. And you pop out here. There's like places to camp and stuff in here. You can camp somewhere around here too. But the real problem is you pop out and like you can't paddle paddle across really here anywhere. So you got to kind of like go all the way around, and it just take forever. So I don't know about going all the way San Francisco. So I followed the river road out of West Sac all the way to Oakland. Damn, that's a long ways too. I bet a lot of people bike ride that as well. People are probably into like, I'll do the river downstairs. I mean, really, Chris, I've really looked into it. People have done it before. It's not like a crazy trip. Like Sacramento to San Francisco. Yeah, people have done it before. I've looked at like some people who've done it before. Kayaking to San Francisco. Yeah, there's like a couple of people. Sacramento to San Francisco by boat. It can be done. I always want to go on like crazy adventures though. I'm constantly the guy who's like telling you I'm going to do something weird, and like sometimes I'll do them, sometimes I don't, My goal is to run a 10K in April, right? I want to run a 10K in April. I also kind of want to do an open water swim this summer in the Sierras at, I don't know. It can be done. Anyway, let's seriously talk about it, Chris. I'd be totally interested, but I don't have the right kind of boat. I mean, you really just need any kind of boat. I don't think you need anything like special, but like I don't have anything. And if I bought a stand-up paddle board, I don't think that would work well enough. Especially the inflatable stand-up paddle board. I don't know how long it would hold air and stuff. Those jerk-off sea lions can do it. Man, I was talking to a friend of mine the other day and we were talking about the whale. Back when we were kids, there was a humpback whale that got stuck in the Delta, and it was a big deal. His name was Humphrey. Everyone called him Humphrey. That was a big deal. Yeah, I really want to try to, seriously, Chris, if you want to try it, I'd be so down to try and like try to do it. I think it takes about 3 days. About 3 days. Oh, Chris Martin has a 2-person kayak. Huh. It's possible. Should think about it. I mean, obviously we'd have to do it in the summer, so it's quite a ways away. Got like 6 or 7 months. Yep. Okay, you guys think about going on an adventure. What kind of cool adventure can you do a local? They're really kind of fun. You know, I like to go on like, you know, weird adventures and doing this stuff. Went to, like I said last week, I went to, or yesterday, went to Pollock Pines. That wasn't that exciting though. It would be really fun. Like, yeah, going on like trips and doing that kind of stuff is so much fun to me. Like, there's like, I definitely fall into, there's this thing people talk about, there's like 3 types of fun. There's type 1 fun, there's type 1, 2, and 3. And type 1 is, you know, we're at a birthday party and having fun, or, you know, I don't know, whatever. You're just bowled the best game of your life, or whatever. You're having fun, right? We're at the big game. We're at fucking the big game that's happening. I don't know. Playing paintball, having fun. And type 2 is like, it's difficult, but when you look back, it's fun. And that's the stuff that I like. I really enjoy the like, oh, we just ran 20 miles, but wasn't that a good, fun story? And like, you know, that stuff's fun. That type 3 fun is just, it's not fun at all, and it just sucks. So really there's only probably 2. But I kind of like that, like, sort of suffering. It's kind of not very fun in the moment. But when I look back, it's kind of fun. Zach Patient. Get Zach Patient. Take him to Mexico. Have a leaving Las Vegas adventure. Oh, you didn't say leaving Las Vegas. Yeah, I thought about him at the World Cup. I was like, Zach Patient. I wonder what he's doing. I was like, he in jail yet? He got caught at the border in Canada doing something crazy. Anyway, all right, guys. First, Raymond, think about an adventure. And I don't know. We've lost everybody. In the meantime, you know, we'll be back on Monday doing something else. I don't know. Try to have like, I don't know, maybe I'll like hire a mariachi band and like stand over there. Dude, mariachi band's the worst. Don't you hate it when you go to a restaurant and there's like live music? I mean, sometimes it's all right, but dude, a fucking mariachi band at like a mariachi band at a restaurant you're trying to eat, and they're like so goddamn loud, and it's like, okay, I guess we'll just sit here in silence and just like listen to this band. It's like, I don't know. This is not what I came here for. All right, guys. The Christmas special? Maybe I could try to do a Christmas. I don't know. It's so hard to have people on. I wish like we had a different location we could do this live stream from. So we could have like live guests or something. Like pull in people from off the street. Okay. Come back Monday. Bye, guys.